the most subversive when it comes to human psychology. I think there is one that is even perhaps more entrenched, more controlling in our lives than any of the others, and that is the monetary system. I call this in my work the one and only religion. Now, immediately that may be deemed or heard as offensive to many individuals, but I maintain that statement as being completely true. There is only really ultimately one religion on this planet, and that religion is the belief in money. So few people in the world are out of this mind control technique. So few people are free of this mind manipulation technique that it is almost unimaginably small, the percentage of people in the world that actually fully know and are fully aware that money never has actually existed in nature. It does not now actually exist in nature, and it never will actually exist in point of fact reality. Now, this is going to the very end first. I'm giving you the very end of the analysis of this entire fraud, of this entire tactic, of this entire mind manipulation technique first, before we even go into how this system of fraud works. I'm explaining to people first and foremost that the number one tenet to understand, to take in, and to know that this is true. And I am not stating this as my belief. Now, here's examples. Like last week on the show, I made it very clear that I was not making blanket statements when it came to talking about the New Age movement and some of the concepts that are contained in it and some of the teachers within it. I made it abundantly clear that I was not making a blanket statement. I said that discernment was needed when it came to understanding the New Age movement as a controlled opposition, as a form of controlled opposition. Today, I am making a blanket statement. There is no such thing as money, folks. It does not exist in reality. It is a construct. That construct only exists in one place, and that is the mind-controlled mind. That's it. I don't care what you think of that statement. I'm not interested. I'm telling you that that is the actual truth of what money is all about. It does not exist in nature. It only exists in the mind. And it only exists in the mind of the mind control. If you actually believe in this notion, you are under mind control. And I understand fully what I'm saying. 100%. Don't think that I am naive when it comes to what I'm talking about here. I know that will be taken as that's absurd, that's ridiculous. Of course money exists. I know that the influence that money wields in the world over people and over their minds and over their hearts and over their actions and behavior, I'm well aware that that exists. But what I'm trying to explain is that in actual reality, there is no such thing as money. It is an accepted construct. Just know this. Understand that first and foremost. It is an accepted construct that requires your belief in it in order for it to work the way that it does. I am not naive about how money works nor about the control that it wields over people's minds. Please do not think that because I'm making a statement that it does not actually exist in nature. Okay? I'm well aware of the total control that it has over people's minds and souls. I'm so aware of this that I term this the one and only religion. It is the only unquestioned, I should say largely unquestioned, and I mean largely, hugely unquestioned belief system on the earth. More people subscribe to this religion than any other. Christianity can only dream in its wildest imaginings to have this kind of a conversion rate. Islam would kill to have this many people believe in this as strongly in Islam as strongly as people believe in money. It would kill. Okay? You can forget about the religions. They are small potatoes next to the all-encompassing belief in money. Almost the entire world's population, almost the whole human population, are adherents to this religion, are adherents to this faith. They are proselytizers of this faith, and they worship at its altar every day. Bring this notion up to somebody that you know isn't very aware, which is easy to do, and they're easy to find. They're everywhere. Okay? Just bring up the notion money isn't real. It doesn't actually exist in nature. Only the belief in it empowers it and gives it any power over anyone's life. And you will hear the most absurd, ridiculous statements, juvenile statements in defense of a system that never did anything good for that individual. All it ever did during the course of their entire lives was enslave that individual. Because ultimately that's what this religion is. It is a religion of slavery for slaves. Get as offended about that statement as you like. That is what the monetary system is. That is its end goal. Slavery is what the monetary system is seeking to accomplish. It is what those who wield the power of this system are seeking to accomplish. The international banking dynasty families of the world, the international financiers, the owners and directors of all of the central banks of the world, particularly the Federal Reserve System of this country, and all of the puppets that play their game, which is essentially every politician on this planet. They are finger puppets at best by the real wizards, the real occult sorcerers of the world that actually are behind the machinations of the world monetary system. These are truly the dark occultists that own this place, folks. They own this place. And they don't own it because they have any real power. They own it because of the power we as human beings have given to them through our unwavering and unchallenged belief in their illusion called money. We empower this illusion, and in doing so, we enslave ourselves. The human race will never, ever, ever be free. It will perpetually, for all eternity, as long as this planet is here, exist as a slave race. For as long as the belief in money persists. Now, I don't really care. Who is talking about gold as money, silver as money? You could talk about anything as money. I understand that people have to use money because right now, the way the world is, the belief in it is so unchallenged that if you didn't, you essentially could not get anybody to basically take any actions. And that's the part of the mind control. I do think it is true. If money ground to a halt all at one time, we already saw the effects of this happening in the Great Depression. We already saw this. Look at what people were doing, killing each other, killing themselves, because an imaginary construct ceased to be able to have any effect in their lives. And so they stopped actually doing any of the actions that they needed to do to stay alive even. Jumping off of buildings, killing each other for a dime. And if that happened again today, you'd see the same and worse. Because the world is even under mind control than perhaps it was back then. And people are even more dependent on this illusory, imaginative system that only exists in the mind as a construct. Money is backed by nothing in the modern world. Even if you believe that gold could be actual money or that silver could be actual money, I say there's actually no real backing, even if you did back it with gold or silver. That's all a construct, an illusion too. People who think that, oh, we just need to get to a gold-backed currency in this country again. It's the same thing, folks. It's you're imagining that this is actual value. Gold is an actual value. Are you going to eat gold? Okay, is gold going to help you build a house to shelter yourself? Is gold going to bring water from one place to another so you have water to drink? No. It's all a construct. Doesn't matter what you use. You can use clamshells. You can use rocks. You can use diamonds, gold. You can use broken shards of glass. You can use straws. It doesn't make a difference. It's all just a construct. This is what I'm trying to get people to ultimately see. We don't even need these constructs for exchange if we get to a certain level of consciousness. The consciousness of scarcity and lack and having to get something in return for something else is the consciousness that powers this system. Any monetary system, no matter what you're using as the currency. It means that flow of energy stops or starts based on your belief in this construct. That's why it's called a current. Like electricity or water. The flow of currents. It's called currency. This isn't accidental either. This is symbolic language. And that's how the occult works. Again, Jordan Maxwell has made this basic green language popular. He explains money is like current or energy, like electricity. It flows. It's that which is a flowing source of energy. And when a river flows, it flows through its banks. This is called green language or alchemical language. This is how occult concepts work. It's not accidental that language works out that way. There is a significance to it. So money is current. It is energy. That is how it is set up. Meaning that if it stops flowing, there is no motion or there is no life. I said to someone this week, money is just an imaginary construct. It doesn't actually exist in nature. And their response was, well, you couldn't live without money. Think about that. Just think about that notion right there. You couldn't live without money. This person is under such deep mind control that they are equating life force energy itself with money.